Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks. I was just playing around and I'm not going to think anybody's ever want to draw this, but it'll teach you a few skills on the way I do it. I'm going to take a rectangle and I'm going to go right here with my ratio locked and I'm going to go 5 inches, which is overkill. But the good thing about Corel, you can't go too far. I mean, once it's gone as far as it's going to go. Then I'm going to go to effects and contour. And I'm going to contour it 2.5. That's about right. I'm going to go to object and break the contour apart. I'm going to move the center one out of the way for just a second. I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate. And I'm going to rotate that duplicate 90 degrees. I almost wish I would have made it a little bit longer, but it's good. I'm going to take that and weld it, and that gives us that shape. Now I'm going to take this and make a duplicate and rotate it 90 degrees, and I'm going to weld that. Don't really have to weld this because it's not going to be inside, or we're not going to use the inside. Then you're going to take your 2-point line, and this is where you could really play. You know, I could have done more. I'm going to actually put it over. I started here. I'm actually going to see if I can't go all the way over here, and then holding down the control button. I'm going to give it a little bit different look this time. Now I can Control D and take that same arch, and then instead of trying to, I'm going to bring in my indexing lines, and you can see I'm not in the center. So I'm going to double click. Well, you know what? I didn't put the whole thing in the center. Let me just delete that for a second, and let me hit P and put everything in the center. That's why I draw in the center of the page for this very well reason. So we're going to go from that node to that node. Holding down the control button helps you get a perfect arch. Now I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate. Double click on the X until you get your rotation. Sometimes it places it there. Now we're going to rotate 90 degrees. That's all we need to do because this is the shape we want. I'm going to get the Smart Fill tool and fill that in. I'm going to nudge it out of the way. I'm not going to delete this. I'm going to nudge it out of the way so I can use it again if I want to change something. Now, from here on out, I'm going to play with the interactive fill tool, trying to give us some depth or some color or play around with it. But I'm not going to worry too much about it right now because I don't know what it's going to look like in just a second. So now what we're going to do, instead of duplicating this, we're going to go to Edit and we're going to clone it. Double click on the rotation and put it in the center and rotate that 90 degrees. Control D, Control D. Doesn't look very good, but now when we have the original clone, we can go back to the interactive fill tool and change it up. That looks pretty good because I want it kind of like a sweep and make it look like, matter of fact, maybe if we put a dark black there and put another blue here and move it up. Nah, I like the way it was at first, but it does give it a little swoop of black. Let's put a little bit of just a tint and see how it's just putting it right there on that edge, but it's putting it on all the edges. So stuff like this, when you put a yellow or a black box around it, well, it didn't look too good now. Let's take away the indexing line. Let's go ahead and change it while we're doing this. Wow, look at the difference you can do. Let's take away that black. You can take away the colors just by double clicking. You can bring them in by just dragging them to there. I'm going to leave it like that. I think that looks pretty cool. Anyway, hope that helped just a little bit. Thank you for watching.